So the tires have been rubbing since I first drove it, probably even beforehand. So the other tires were getting rubbed down to the nylon, so I decided to put these old skinnies that were literally shot onto it. Wonderful idea, right? This one popped, I bought it in. I think the starter's getting weak. Come on. Yeah, I think it's weak. But we found out the bushings are junk, so we've got to replace those. You know, you should probably check your steering if it's like this, sitting on its tires. I mean, if I kind of... You can't really see it when it's up in the air, but here. That's the crappy little bearing on that. And if you run bad bushings for long enough, they'll sit like this and they'll rub. So, if you look over here, that's one of the rub points. And the other spot was rubbing on a washer. You can see the rub point was right there. So, at one point we're going to be heading today we're going to be heading to Tractor Supply and AutoZone. Pick up some toggle switches to run the front lights on a toggle and the rear light on a toggle, because it ain't that fella, it's its own thing. Use that one, it kind of, you pull it and it just kind of runs the light all day long, and I don't like that. If you don't need it, you have it off, I prefer to have it set to a toggle. You got the sizes of both tires. So we'll be looking for those when we go into Tractor Supply. I want to get like ATV or like snowblower tires for the rear. Maybe a garden tractor tire. Yeah, no, this thing's turned into a major project. And we also have two side things we gotta do too. We need to get new blowtorch handles too. One of them was really leaky and the other one barely works at all. At least I'll be doing something. Not something I want to do. Well, the downside to all of this is I don't have anything else I can really drive in this time of season. If it was just summer, I would have went, okay, I can fix this, I got this. Well, mud, A, and B, it's stupid cold outside, so I prefer to kind of not freeze my rear end off while trying to keep a bike balanced. It isn't like trying to lift the freaking World Trade Center, but, kind of freeze your hands off doing this motion for like a couple hours straight on a handlebar. While you're doing the same motion on a steering wheel, I know. Yes, there's a lighter stuck in there. Don't judge me. But yeah, I think starter's dying. I initially just let the engine cool off, thinking it was overheating. But after a while of cranking it, there it goes again. That or the jury rig's going bad. If I have to replace the starter, I'm gonna get rid of that damn jury rig because it's annoying. I hate having to turn the key and push a button. Bad enough I have to do it on my grandmother's mower. Like, when I'm done, I just put Bondo over the hole or switch or something. Yeah, it's great. The mud run is now in a project stasis mode. Might as well set the parking brake. We're going to be working on this for a long time. So, the checklist is slightly skinnier, not as skinny as those. 2 front tires, back tires, toggle switches, wire, and probably a new starter and ignition setup. I'll just put a Ford starter in it. There you go. Take like a Ford starter or something. Use that. Be a lot better than a stupid little indica key. I get to fumble with that thing trying to get it in when there's mud in the slot. Every now and then I'll have to take like the electronics dust off cleaner stuff. Kind of take it, put the straw right in there, and I just spray it, and you just see a little outburst of mud. It's hilarious. But, yeah, we got bushings. Those will be in Monday. So the checklist is better light setup, starter and ignition. That's my add to the list. Trying to remember. So bushings, ignition starter, better light setup, that rear light wired, tires all around, and if I can get my dirty paws on one, a new hood, because this thing's kind of got a wee bit of a sag to it. Kind of a you could see it. It's kind of a little bit on that side. But we got the lobe gone. You know, and how it'd be like boom, boom, boom. That's gone now. So we fiddled around with the air fuel mix screw. And, yeah. And now you can bring it all the way down to the throttle here, and it won't stall either. I've been enjoying its nice quiet idle again. I think it could use some steering bushings too. I think we replaced those. I think those come in the kit though. I don't know. Always wanted tire chains for this. My dad's talking to one of his coworkers right now. He has a garden tractor. He got them. They ended up being the wrong size. So I have some room in the wheel well right now, so I think if I can get like one that's kind of like that, kind of like closer but not rubbing. I mean, even if I have to like break out a sawzall and cut out part of the body, I will. I'm not afraid to do that. There's a frickin' yeah. What is this, like a sister-sister effect? Grandfather's dually. You could say it's a year ago, but a while back, the starter on that was going bad. And then now this thing's starter's going bad. It's like some kind of deja vu or something. Pretty sure I like mistake both of them, but gosh. Fudge. Well, it ain't like it's broken, right? Ain't like I broke the transmission or anything, so that's a plus. Yeah, I took it out, blew this tire, kind of just blew itself apart. That's better. These are now spares for the LA 105 because they officially won't work on the Scots without rubbing. Or at least until we get new bushings on there. Remove that other tire because I'm not running these ridiculous skinnies. Skinnies like this belong on something like a 60s Cub Cadet. They'll literally be like that size. And like look up 1969 Cub Cadet 124 garden tractor. And you'll see what I mean. It's like tiny tires in the front, big fat tires in the rear. It's funny to look at. I do have one, but it needs to get home. And I got that one for the price of nothing. So that was a pretty good score. Don't run or anything, but a good a good spark. Had no compression. We found out how to stuck valve. I think it was the intake valve? One of the valves was stuck. But if that engine's junk, the whole thing is junk because it ain't just no plain Jane basic feller. Vertical shaft lawnmower engine. It's this fancy pants horizontal shaft engine. It's got like weird curve to it. And like the carb's like out the side like this. Got a fancy airbox setup. It's really weird. Which just makes me want to work on that more. If it's weird, you work on it. If it's not weird, you can still work on it. But it won't be as fun. Like there's something slightly weird about this. It's history. It's damn near fatal history. Went off a wall and took a kid with it. Not dead, thankfully. I mean, hell, it runs really good for what happened to it. It was running upside down. Yeah, I thought it was 1996 based on the copyright date on the tag. I looked at the date couple of gazillion weeks later, and I found out it's 1999. I'm there like, oh, just get a new, whole new steering assembly from like a John Deere Sabre with the same style setup. Because I don't even think John Deere themselves had like their own tractors with what I nicknamed the arrow nose setup. Or at least ran the same body but ran a different hood. There were a couple brick noses like that. Not trying to get you confused with Ford. I just make my own classification so I don't have to say the exact year and guess. So, what we got down here is a crappy wagon wheel. Kind of get under your little pin here. I know there's better ways to do this, but... And then there's your pin. There goes your little feller. She's good to go. And we can just take this and roll it out of my face. And there. This would be shot bushings, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen. I do want to get this thing like a smokestack if I end up doing like a engine swap on this. I might actually change the oil too. Figure out what oil filter it runs. Well, this thing took its last drive today. Well, at least for now. Yeah. I don't know if it's just because the way I set the jack stands, but that looks really cool. That looks really kittywampus. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking to probably get snowblower tires for the front and get ATV tires for the rear. Or just same style snowblower tires. That's why I get the Cub Cadet. Is those garden tractor tires. They're like a tractor tire. A garden tractor, for those of you who don't know, is literally a think of it as the big brother, big sister of a lawnmower. It's got like a better setup, like say. Some of them can have a beefier engine. They tend to do, depending upon the package. They'll have, I think they'll have like a full posi diff, not shaft driven, so I don't know how it works, but they won't have these stupid little pin shaft tires. They'll literally be bolt-ons. And depending upon, and you know, the tires will be bigger. I mean, modern garden tractors, they still come with these god-awful turf tires in terms of grip. But like, you could do a lot more with a garden tractor. Like, say, you can run a rototiller with a Cub Cadet, old Cub Cadet, like a 69 124. You can run a rototiller, snowblower. You can also run a snow plow on there. I think there's a few other things you can run in your back. There's actually one of those like plows, like farm plows for the back one of those. Don't know how it works without a 3-point hitch, but yeah, so this is the hot mess we have downstairs. And it's wonderful. Not bad. Not bad for probably like 20 to almost 30 some odd year old bushings, right? I can't complain. Yeah, I dumped the clutch one last time. Now I'm practically rebuilding the front, which is amazing. It's the most greatest freaking thing I ever had to deal with, is rebuilding the front end of this stupid thing. When I first got it, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not going to spend much money on it, just get it running and driving, and use it for plowing snow, get a snow plow. Well, I got a wee bit more attached, because the more you work on it, the more you love it. All I really needed was pretty much a carb check, and a few other things. I mean, like, the airbox, it's got this weird little grommet thing inside that makes it all loosey-goosey, but I don't really care about that. I'm planning to have, like, my toggle switches here. But thankfully, you can drill through the area without hitting the tank. Just don't smoke. Just don't smoke when the tank's open. Yeah, I kind of want to look into a new hood, because even though the duct tape special makes it look like something that drove out of the Red Green show, I kind of like it to not look like dirt. Just saying. I mean, it works right now, and you don't even need a hood to drive it, but still, though, where's all the fun in that? Anyway, I've rambled for almost half an hour into a phone, so I'm officially insane. I'm probably gonna turn into some kind of guy with anger issues trying to figure out how the stupid front end works. The stupid tension pulley, frickin' that dang thing wouldn't even do anything at all. Well, that thing was chattering like heck when I was doing with belts, and I was like, couldn't even pull the stupid thing forward. I'm like, who did they build this for? Arnold Schwarzenegger? Some things I like about this mower, some things I hate about the mower. I could say, geez, John Deere, really? Really? Geez, John Deere. Why'd you put your tag on something that you own? Wouldn't you want to hide that? Make it be more fun? People would probably find out anyway. Like, they look at a Saber, and then they look at a Scots, and they're like, well, these both look the same, so we're just gonna say it's John Deere. Come on, give them the guesswork. Where's the fun in doing that? Well, I guess if you own the patent, you probably would want to be the proud owner and all that. And my janky, old, wonky setup is gonna hopefully not get a lot less janky and actually have lights that don't suck in terms of control. I'm guessing right here where the now shot starter button is. Or, well, the shot starter. It's the starter, but I want to get rid of the ignition setup because it sucks. Watch I find out why they jury-rigged it. It's because they're like 1,000,005 wires that are cob job back together or bypassed. Seat sensor is one of the wires that are bypassed that I know of. And I think this was bypassed a bit too. Because if you hit a bump hard enough, it won't take reverse unless if you hit that switch. The reverse switch. This button right here. It'd be yellow if I didn't paint the dashboard black. If I didn't repaint the dashboard. The duct tape isn't original. I had that on there. I mean, it works pretty darn good. Well, now it's officially probably 30 minutes worth of me rambling into a phone. Now I'm going to get ready to do the task of shopping for junk on this thing. Ay. This project got more project-y.